I never thought I would ever say this, but I hate food. That is, in anime at least. Cause in real life I'm basically Keiso's lost brother. Of course, that doesn't mean I eat as much as him, that's an impossible feat for any other human being. But I love food, gang, not gonna lie. But have you ever watched a cool anime and got really annoyed at how much the characters go out of their way to describe every minute detail about what they're eating? Well, I certainly have. As someone who's watched most isekai anime in existence, I have a few things to say about this rant. Last year I decided to rewatch an isekai anime called Death March, which I had already watched around 2019. Now, why I dropped Jujutsu Kaisen but rewatched this anime 3 freaking times is a very valid question you guys may have, to which I don't have an answer. That's a mystery to me too, to be honest. But the guy's working like an Amazon warehouse employee. Yeah, that's how bad he has it. And one day he works so much that he sleeps at the company. And seriously, that sounds depressing. It makes me sad to know this likely happens in real life somewhere. Escapism is a damn big factor when it comes to isekai, isn't it? I actually have a video on about this specific topic. It's a little more serious, maybe a little depressing, so be prepared for a different vibe if you decide to watch it, alright? But when he wakes up, he's inside the game, and that's how he goes on an amazing journey to become an overpowered merchant and have a hammer. And that's it. But for some reason I liked the first season so much that I decided to take a look at the manga. I don't regret my choice, but one thing I noticed as I read every single speech bubble about how tasty, salty, delicious, hot, and whatever other adjectives you can find in existence to describe what they were cooking is that isekai has a food problem. I don't think it was much of a problem when I was watching the anime because I could just tune out whenever they started talking about food, but when I had to actually read stuff, I noticed I was basically reading a damn cooking recipe, but with some small stories in between. Bro, I don't care that you wanna find rice in whatever world you're in. I've already seen the same plot with all the other Kirito clones out there, but you know, sometimes they change things up a bit when they're feeling a little more bold and make the protagonist look for curry instead. It was honestly intriguing how the author managed to end every single plot with cooking. It kinda left me surprised, not gonna lie. I remember Sato, and that's the guy's name by the way, would be solving a crisis in one chapter, and in the other would be like, upon the table rested a dish whose very presence seemed to command silence. The rice, shaped into a perfect dome, released a gentle steam, almost ceremonial, as if each grain had been carefully awakened from a I think these authors should reconsider if they really want to write an isekai. Why not just write a food-focused story at this point? Food Wars was once successful, so there is clearly an audience for it, but I'm not ignorant, alright? I did my research on, well, Reddit. And the reasons why mainly isekai authors might have this thing for food boil down to these 3 points, basically. It's relatable and easy filler content when they need to have constant updates in the source material. East Asians tend to be way more interested in culinary diversity, I don't know if that's true by the way. And last but not least, escapism. Since people can self-insert themselves, having the money and ability to eat all these different kinds of food. To be honest, I don't really know if these reasons are true or not, but I think they sound reasonable as an explanation for why they do that. But no matter how much I make fun of isekai, I always end up going right back to it. Love is blind, they say. Of course, I'm not saying authors should never add anything about food in their light novels just because they're not writing a culinary story. Mixing genres is perfectly fine, and that's been a thing for quite some time. I personally love it when I'm watching an anime where I can get both adventure and romance at the same time, you know? If you guys know any other reason why these authors have this fixation with food, feel free to leave some comments and share your opinions with everyone. Although I'm not a fan of this trend, I know there is an audience for it. So my question for you is this: do you like detailed descriptions of food in anime, and why? I'd like to know, for real. So if you enjoyed my rant, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. And by the way guys, I'm sorry if I haven't been very productive with my channel. I admit my schedule hasn't been very good these last weeks, I would say, and that's kind of my fault. You know, a few things happened and my routine is kind of different now, and I am horrible with adapting to a new routine. Also, I have a big problem with procrastination as well, so that's also another reason why I've been procrastinating a lot to edit my videos, I would say. But don't worry, I love this channel and I also like you guys very much. I just need to be a little more consistent, I would say. So thank you for watching my video, and I see you guys in the next one.